Well, there was a massive war of words over Donald Trump's Kashmir bluff in Parliament, and responding to the opposition today, the External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar set the record straight and said that the Prime Minister made no such request to the United States President Donald Trump about Kashmir. S Jaishankar further adding that there will be no change in India's Pakistan policy and Kashmir remains a bilateral issue. This after the Congress and the CPI sought a clarification from the Prime Minister over this matter in both houses of Parliament.
We heard remarks by President Donald Trump in a meeting with Prime Minister Imran Khan of Pakistan to the press that he is ready to mediate if requested by India and Pakistan on Kashmir issue. I would like to categorically assure the House that no such request has been made by the Prime Minister to the US. I repeat, no such request was made by the Prime Minister to the US President. I would also reiterate that it has been India's consistent position that all outstanding issues with Pakistan are discussed only bilaterally. I would further underline that any engagement with Pakistan would require an end to cross-border terrorism. Sir, let me conclude by emphasizing that the Shimla Agreement and the Lahore Declaration provide the basis to resolve all issues between India and Pakistan bilaterally. I hope, in the view of my very specific and categorical responses, that there is no confusion in the mind of anybody on this.
It is a head of state of the most powerful country talking about the head of the Indian government, the Prime Minister conveying something which has serious consequences for us, because we have always maintained, whether it was the Simla Accord, later Lahore was a declaration, but between the two Prime Ministers, when the Simla Accord was reached, that this is a bilateral issue of Jammu and Kashmir, and India will not accept any third-party mediation. I have to submit through you, sir, to the government. Since it is the President of America informing the Pakistan PM about Indian Prime Minister saying it, Parliament is in session, I submit to you that the Prime Minister must respect Parliament and come to the House and clarify this matter.
ये प्रधानमंत्री की, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की ये जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि वो सदन को अवगत कराएं कि ये झूठ है। ये तो बहुत बड़ा सीरियस डिपार्चर है हमारी फॉरेन पॉलिसी की। हमारी फॉरेन पॉलिसी तो आज तक यही रही है कि कोई भी तीसरा देश हस्तक्षेप नहीं कर सकता हम दोनों देशों के बीच में, हम दोनों मिलकर इसको सुलझाएंगे। राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने नाम लेकर उन्होंने कहा है प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी टोल्ड में, तो उन्होंने प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और नाम और डिजिग्नेशन के समेत बता दिया है। अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अगर फॉरेन मिनिस्टर का नाम लिया होता तो हम मान जाते, तो प्रधानमंत्री का नाम ले रहा हो। टॉक्स तो फॉरेन मिनिस्टर और ट्रंप के बीच में नहीं हो रही थी, टॉक्स तो वार्ता तो मोदी जी के और ट्रंप के बीच में हो रही थी।
We are raising this issue and it is a serious issue. The stated position of the country remains to be no third-party mediation on Kashmir, no third-party mediation on the issues which are there between India and Pakistan. They are all bilateral issues. We should sort out bilaterally. That is the position so far India has got. Now, is there any change? Because the US President, no secretary, it is US President who claims that Prime Minister of India has asked him whether is it possible for him to negotiate or mediate. And he has said this to the Prime Minister of another country. Right, so in such a situation, I think the denial given by the official of the External Affairs Minister is not enough. Prime Minister should come and tell Parliament and tell the nation.
Vice President and Chairman of Rajya Sabha Venkaiah Naidu also slammed the opposition, saying how could they trust US President Donald Trump more than the nation's foreign ministry. Listen in.
Don't make a national issue into a political issue. Please don't make a national issue into a political issue. This is not the way. This is not the way. You have You have more confidence in American president than Indian Prime Minister and Foreign Minister. What are we talking?
Now, there are several questions that the opposition are asking as to on what basis did Donald Trump make that claim. And those are whether Donald Trump confused Balakot mediation with Kashmir. The next question that is coming up is, will Trump's comment now create a dent in Indo-US ties? Will that affect the relationship between India and the United States? Was Trump unaware of India's stand on Kashmir mediation? Was he not informed about what exactly has been going on between India and Kashmir and how this has always remained a bilateral issue? Has Donald Trump given leeway to Pakistan to link Afghanistan to Kashmir mediation? That's also an important question to ask. And should India now seek an official clarification from the White House? They've already lodged a very strong protest, but will they seek a clarification as to what exactly did the US President Donald Trump mean when he made that claim and making a reference directly to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Is Trump hoping to mediate on Kashmir after the success that he achieved with North Korea? Well, those are some of the questions. But Paulami Saha, my colleague, in fact, joins us from outside Parliament. Paulami, the opposition are very clear that they want to hear the Prime Minister. Has there been any response from the government? We heard Mr. S Jaishankar, but will the opposition continue to demand a clarification from the Prime Minister?
Well, that seems to be the case. The External Affairs Minister is expected to shortly make a statement in the Lok Sabha as well, which will basically be reiterating the statement that he made in the Rajya Sabha. But even in the Lok Sabha, we witnessed some very stormy scenes earlier in the morning as well, when the Congress mounted an attack on the government and demanded a response from the Prime Minister, saying it is for the Prime Minister to clarify the country's position, because this is a conversation, an official conversation, which is being quoted by the US President, no less, as to what he had, the conversation that he had with the Indian Prime Minister and what transpired between the two of them in Osaka. So it is for the Prime Minister himself, who is being named by the US President, to come to the House and clarify his position. But the government's position is very clear that the Foreign Minister has now spoken. He's made that suo motu statement in Rajya Sabha. He's about to make a statement in the Lok Sabha as well. And that should suffice, because that is the government of India's position. Whether the Prime Minister makes it or the Foreign Affairs Minister makes it, it's absolutely clear that India will not allow for any third-party intervention or mediation in the bilateral affairs of India and Pakistan. Whatever dispute there is between India and Pakistan over any issue, including Kashmir, it will only be resolved bilaterally as per the basis of the Shimla Agreement of 1972 and the Lahore Declaration of 1999. So there is no change in that stated policy. White House has also come out and said that it respects, the fact that any dispute between India and Pakistan has to be resolved bilaterally. They've released the fact sheet of what transpired, and they're saying that this needs to be resolved bilaterally, and this is in tune with the US's decades-old policy as well, and what the US believes.
Right.
And it considers India to be a very, close and a trusted ally. So the White House trying to do some damage control, but the fact is the opposition is unrelenting back home in India.
Oh, absolutely. Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor, also joins us, because Rahul, this is a remark, a claim being which is coming in from the US President Donald Trump, and he has made a direct reference to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has left now the opposition red. They are belligerent. They are demanding an explanation, as Paulami was telling us, and they will not leave at that. They have said that they fully trust the Prime Minister. What is going to be the government's approach towards this matter?
I think the government is walking on eggshells on this issue, primarily because there are multiple issues involved here. One is the very fact that, as far as the domestic scenario is concerned, politics is unsparing, and we have noticed that way back in 2009, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was part of a joint statement along with the Pakistani counterpart at Sharm el-Sheikh, there was a tremendous amount of ruckus in Parliament and outside by the BJP, which was in opposition. And at that time, the BJP had called the involvement of the term Balochistan in the joint statement as the government of the day mortgaging India's stand. It was called a shame, a compromise. And given that kind of a history, primarily because of multiple benchmarks as far as relationship with Pakistan or talks with Pakistan are concerned. One is, of course, Shimla Agreement, that this remains a bilateral issue. Second is 1994, February 22nd, when Parliament under P.V. Narasimha Rao passed a resolution that Kashmir is an intrinsic part of India, no outside interference will be accepted, and Pakistan is occupying Indian territory illegally. It was later endorsed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee government also. Now, given that Mr. Trump's statement is in absolute contradiction to what India's stated position has been, the opposition seems it has found an opportunity to corner the government after they were beaten and bruised as far as the Lok Sabha results are concerned. This is first sign of belligerence from the opposition, and they will not like the government to have its say. Also, what is happening then in the Lok Sabha, where the government has brute numbers, it has been passing legislations after legislations with a very little say from the opposition. And this perhaps gives the opposition a handle to disrupt the speedy manner in which the government is passing bills. The second is that India and America over the last 5 years under Prime Minister Narendra Modi have been able to achieve a certain degree of bonhomie of relationship, especially at a juncture like this when Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Trump his friend, and their hugs and handshakes have been a part of diplomatic legend. In that scenario, the government cannot openly declare Trump to have lied or misled as far as his statement is concerned. And that is where the sense of caution that the Prime Minister is not standing up and saying on the floor of the House that Trump is not right in saying what he has said. It is the External Affairs Minister. But I don't think the opposition is going to relent.
Absolutely. Rahul and Geeta, thank you. Rahul and Paulomi, thank you both for joining us and getting us up to speed with what happened inside Parliament. India rubbishing United States President Donald Trump's claim that the Prime Minister asked him to mediate in the Kashmir dispute with Pakistan. India has formally lodged a strong protest with the White House and also the State Department for the wrongful attribution of a court to the Prime Minister by the US President. Trump claimed that the Prime Minister had asked him to mediate on Kashmir when both the leaders met 2 weeks ago. The Foreign Ministry has also denied US President Donald Trump's claim. In fact, in a late-night tweet, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar clarified that no such request had ever been made by the Prime Minister to the US President. Trump's statement comes as India is maintaining that the Kashmir issue is a bilateral one and there is no need for any third-party mediation. Several US lawmakers, congressmen have also attempted damage control after Donald Trump's shocking claim on Prime Minister Modi.
I was with Prime Minister Modi 2 weeks ago, and we talked about this subject, and he actually said, would you like to be a mediator or arbitrator? I said, where? He said, Kashmir, because this has been going on for many, many years. I was surprised at how long it's been going on.
70 years.
I think they'd like to see it resolved, and I think you'd like to see it resolved, and if I can help, I would love to be a mediator.
We have tried our best. We've made all overtures to India to start dialogue, resolve our differences through dialogue, but unfortunately we haven't made headways as yet. But I'm hoping that President Trump would push this process.
बहुत अरसा बीत गया कि इसका किसी ने जिक्र ही नहीं किया। कश्मीर का तो लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल ही नहीं किया जाता था। अक़वाम के मुत्तहिदा की तकरीरों में भी आपके सामने है, आप उठा के देख लीजिए। हमारे बड़े-बड़े सूरमा हो गुजरे जो कि उसका जिक्र करते भी की वर्ड जो है वो तकरीबन ममनू हो चुका था। ठीक, तो अगर उसको सामने रखें तो मैं समझता हूँ कि दोबारा एक चीज़ में जान पड़ी है।
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.